The Steam Deck just had its first birthday and it has a lot of us thinking, what about the Deck 2 or the potential future of the portable handheld device from Valve? Now, unlike other consoles and Nintendo handhelds, PC hardware generally moves at a rapid pace with graphics cards and processing power improving year on year, though less substantially in recent times. With a lot of competitors now in the space from AONEO to GPD showing off their portables and amazing performance, where does the Deck now stand? For price to performance, the Deck stands on top, that much is certain. Valve is most likely taking a loss on every unit sold, which they can afford to do as a result of the Steam store and their commission on sales, something which the other devices in the market and their competitors just simply cannot do without being a loss leader to potentially ship their Pro products, for example. Due to economies of scale, Valve is also shortening that gap and is now reducing the cost to produce the Deck, likely with each month. The success of the Deck to date has drawn in many gamers, old and new, to their Steam libraries, and this is through its sheer portability and performance. In saying all of this, it would still be nice for Valve to expand on their Deck portfolio and start offering the Deck 2 or variant models to accommodate more consumers for the Pro and basic users on the spectrum. In saying all of this, what I would like to see from the Deck 2 or Pro model is almost definitely an upgraded screen. Hopefully from an OLED panel or 1080p, though keeping the 16:10 aspect ratio is not bad either. If it's with the higher resolution, it would be nice though. Now with the current hardware, it would be pushing the limits to be able to expect 1080p visuals with the current low wattages. So I would not even mind that if for gaming we still played around 800 to 720p, which seems to be the sweet spot between performance, battery life, and around 40 frames per second. But then for content browsing and the desktop use, that higher resolution would be nice, especially for watching video content or movies on the Deck, which I sometimes often do. I ultimately believe that the right move for Valve is not to upgrade the AMD GPU for the units, as this would make the Deck 1 obsolete, but potentially they could optimize on it, such as Nintendo did with the newer Switch versions, where the newer models had better battery life and small performance gains due to efficiency in the hardware over the years, which they mainly used to ship the smaller Switch Lite with a reduced battery that would still beat out the original day one Switch models. In terms of performance, the Deck is already impressive with its use of the AMD APU technology. However, for the next model, if they did want to go into something a bit more powerful, it would also be nice if they increased the RAM capacity up to 32GB, which would provide more headroom for multitasking and future-proofing the device overall. In terms of gameplay though, and playing AAA titles, there's really nothing that I haven't been able to throw at it and not have it run on the Deck at least a compromisable experience for me. Now some other gamers though, 30 frames per second and anything around that may be too low, but what you can do with 40 frames, which is a 1/3 increase over 30, is not bad either. The next area that I think they should focus on is definitely the battery life, and I've brought it up so many times and there's so many comments about how the battery life is pretty good depending on what you're playing, and this may be true and it can be decent, but I would not claim that it's outstanding. If you're playing an indie or older title, the battery will last over 3 hours, but once you get into AAA territory, well, I've had some not even reach 1.5 hours. For me, this is not good enough, and I just want more juice out of the device without having to plug it in all the time. Now, of course, you can play around with settings, resolutions, wattage, etc., but simply having a bigger battery or more efficient GPU and processor will go a long way in future-proofing the Deck. And it's definitely something that I think the Pro model should have for the Deck. At the end of the day, an extended battery life would be a welcome addition for gamers who want to take the gaming on the go without having to constantly search for a power outlet. Or perhaps Valve would go the other direction and offer the fastest supercharging they could possibly get. What would you prefer? Please let me know in the comment section on this one. I'm definitely pro battery life on my side. Let's now talk about the controls and improving the input options of the Deck. Now, Valve, again, is leading here. Their ergonomics for the player and options and customizability of the controls and the buttons and everything on the Deck is simply the best and not matched by any other competitor that I know of. But that does not mean they couldn't use Hall effect joysticks to address drift concerns, or they could even go crazy like the GPD devices, which include built-in keyboards for ease of use. Or would that be too much? I'm not quite sure. The GPDs are actually quite impressive about what they can fit on the device and still have good performance while compromising and having a keyboard there. It's quite amazing. They could also adapt some of the features that we're seeing on the new DualSense 5 controllers, with the added level of immersion from the haptic feedback and adaptive triggers that the deck already does have but could be further expanded on, especially for the mouse trackpads, which could have better haptics on those as well. The last improvement that I would like to see, or just a potential offering from Valve, which I think would be nice, is a smaller device if even possible. With the hardware, we do know that Valve has crammed in quite a lot into the form factor of the deck. They've also made it extremely ergonomic, and yet even though the device is so big and bulky, it actually feels really good to hold in the hands and can offer better playing sessions than the Switch does, purely because of how the device is made. Now, in saying all of this, the weight of the device is definitely on the bulkier side and heavier side compared to its competitors. So if Valve could find a way to slim down the device without sacrificing performance and too much battery, which could be in line with those processor efficiencies that I was talking about, if they could improve that, then they could cut the form factor and reduce the battery size, but still have the same performance in battery. This would definitely be an attractive option for gamers who value portability, and right now the deck does require a case. I'm not going to just be putting it in my bag as it is right now. Those are the features that I would like to see on my Deck 2 or Deck Pro or Deck Basic or Lite. Please let me know in the comment section what you think. Do you have better ideas? Do you think I'm wrong? And with everything that I've just said in this video, please do let me know, and I hope you stay around for the next one.